Today on Parks and Parades, we're back at the Magic Kingdom to visit the most expensive character meal on Disney property. Situated here in Cinderella's Castle, it's Cinderella's Royal Table. As always, we're going to be talking about the food. We're going to be talking about the drinks that you can expect to find here. We're going to be talking about the princesses and the characters that you can expect to meet when you visit Cinderella's Royal Table, as well as the overall atmosphere. And we're also going to discuss if we feel it's really worth that rather eye-watering price tag. But before we get into it, if you're planning a trip to Walt Disney World and you want to know some hints and tips, what the best restaurants to go to are, how to make the best use of your dining credit if you're on the dining plan, then don't forget to like and subscribe to Parks and Parades for more shortcuts to the magic. Once you arrive, you'll be escorted into this rather majestic looking waiting area. It really is beautiful, and you can see the chandeliers and the decor. It really does feel like you're inside that royal palace. And don't forget to look up and you can spot Jacques and Gus hiding up there in the rafters. After a short amount of time, you'll be called for your first character interaction, and that will be meeting Cinderella. And you'll get your opportunity to have your photo taken with Cinderella before you're seated for the meal. And once it's your time to be called, you'll ascend a stone spiral staircase up to the main dining hall. And when you enter the dining hall, you immediately get a sense that you're in somewhere quite special. The stained glass windows letting in all that light, it's a really beautiful setting for a meal. So let's talk about the menu. We dined here at dinner time, so that's what I'm going to talk about. And the fairy tale dining dinner consists of a set menu. From an appetizers choice, you have soup of the day, the castle salad, roasted pork belly, or the jumbo shrimp cocktail. For entrees, there is roasted lamb chops, the seafood catch of the day, a filet mignon, or a chicken cottage pie. And then to finish the meal, you have a choice of 3 desserts. The clock strikes 12, the Jacques and Gus cheesecake, or the floating island. Then, as you can imagine, they've got a really strong drinks menu with specialty drinks and cocktails, as well as a really extensive wine list. And if you like beer, they've got some bottled beers from Belgium and France. They've got Stella, they've got Kronenbourg, and they've got the Kronenbourg Blanc, which, if you like a wheat beer, if you like something like a Blue Moon, is a really good option. While I was in the mood for some beer, Helen went with the Sunset Margarita, a well-balanced combination of tequila, Grand Marnier, smoked chili bitters, lime and agave. And I think you can tell from her face she really enjoyed this one. Now let's get into the food. So between the 4 of us, we had 3 of the choices on the appetizer section. We had the soup, which was a tomato soup. We had the salad, and we also had the pork belly. All 3 dishes were really well presented. They all tasted fantastic. We only really wish that we'd ordered maybe the shrimp cocktail too, so we got to try everything. But really good appetizers, really enjoyed these. While we were a bit more adventurous with our appetizers, when it came to our entrees, we all chose the same thing. Everybody opted for the filet mignon, and every single steak was cooked to perfection. The vegetables were fresh and hot. We really enjoyed our main course. It was absolutely fantastic. For desserts, we went for the Clock Strikes 12, a chocolate ganache tart topped with salted caramel coffee mousse. And we also tried the Jacques and Gus cheesecake, vanilla cheesecake with fresh fruit and garnishes. The desserts tasted really nice. As you can see, really well presented. The theming is absolutely spot on. Really, really great choices. Now let's get on to the princesses. So we've obviously met Cinderella downstairs, and during your meal you can also meet Ariel, you can meet Jasmine, and you can also meet Aurora. Now you can usually meet Snow White, but I don't think we saw her this time around. They do change the characters up here sometimes, and it's not unknown to have the likes of Merida or Tiana drop in from time to time, so you may get different princesses depending on when you come and dine here, but you're always going to see Cinderella. Part of the magic is the wishing ceremony. When you're seated, you will receive a souvenir wishing star, and you use this during the interactive ceremony where you can make a wish. Any princesses in your party will also receive a magic wand, and any knights will receive this plastic sword, which doesn't cut steak very well. I tried, it just doesn't work. So how much exactly is the most expensive character dining on Disney property? Well, pricing as of May 2026 for breakfast, it's $76 per adult and $47 for children ages 3 to 9. And for lunch and dinner, it will set you back $89 per adult and $54 for children. If you are on the Disney dining plan, this meal will cost you 2 table service credits. So is it worth the price tag? It is expensive. Personally, I think it is worth the price tag. I think the food and the atmosphere is great. You're right in the heart of Magic Kingdom. You're in Cinderella's castle. One thing to consider though is that if you want a slightly cheaper alternative princess meal, you can go over to Akashush at Epcot, where you can have a character meet and greet with princesses, and it's much more affordable, particularly the breakfast. We recently dropped a review of Akashush right here on Parks and Parades channel, so please do go ahead and check that video out. If you're looking for an alternative princess meal outside of Cinderella's Royal Table, Akashush is a fantastic option. But in my opinion, Cinderella's Royal Table still is worth it. And one thing I want to address is the Disney dining plan. Now, this is a 2-credit restaurant. And some people will say, well, that's a lot, you know, I can go and have 2 separate meals. But when you break down the pricing, actually it kind of makes sense. So if you're dining for lunch or dinner, realistically, you're going to rack up a bill of around $400 once you've thrown in a few drinks, you know, maybe even more. The other thing about Cinderella's Royal Table is when you kind of pay and you book it, gratuity is included. So if you are using the dining credit, that's not something else that you're going to have to lay out at the end of the meal. So actually, you know, when you put it all together, you put the experience, yes, it's 2 dining credits, but in my opinion, it is worth it. It's worth considering. So have you been to Cinderella's Royal Table, or are you thinking of going? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Parks and Parades for more shortcuts to the magic. See you on the next video.